Great things are spoken of thee. Great things are spoken. You spoke life to death, spoke life to death. You spartan the blind and you saw. You spoke to the dead and he rose. God of all flesh, you are the God. That could not oh, the shame. What is that going on? What is what is charming? What are you? What acting the Batia? What is that going on? What is it? What is who you the Saudi one the Saudi? I'm waiting on the Salamite.
Good morning, everybody. So today we started a bit late, not because we didn't know that today we are going to do it, but then the weekend was crazy. So, but I've already promised I have to do this, whether I feel good or not. So that's why we are here. So, like I said, every Monday is the day we do our market outlook. This is me showing you the market from my lenses, and then we make money of that. So, like I said, this is market outlook, and these are the pairs I trade on a normal day. These are the pairs I trade on a normal day. The reason why I do this is because you don't have to overwhelm yourself with so many pairs. You can see GBP, JPY, BTC USD, GBP USD, and then gold. This was called by someone on the live last week that I should review it or something like that. So that is why I am reviewing it. So, and then this is same thing with gold, and this is BTC, like different brokers, right? Because on Friday I dropped on during our Sunday, our end of the week mentorship, our end of the week analysis, like trying to see how we've done for the week that is during last week. I dropped the BTC setup, which is this, and as you can see, this is perfection. Like this is perfection. It was here on Friday. Let me use this one that is moving every time. You can see different charts, same BTC or different chart. This is this one. the one that I use. This one doesn't move on weekends, but then this is the one that I used to get what I wanted. But then on Friday, we analyzed BTC like I was expecting for it to touch here before going down. But like I told you about liquidity, if you like hit your TP, it will still come back to take out all those highs. This is 4 hour time frame, 4 hours. And this is 1 hour where we take our buys from ourselves, from our entries from whether buy or sell. As you can see, this is the place I want the price to enter, here or here. But then it hit my TP. So I'm already giving up. But that didn't mean that this liquidity has not have been taken out. It doesn't mean that. But one thing I'm sure that even price, if price gives you a very long buys, a very long sales, best believe that after, at the end of the day, all these places will be taken out. At the end of the day, all these places will be taken out. Sorry, if you're in on the chat, tell me your name and where you're joining us from. I dey forget say I dey do all those things every morning. So good morning, Timmy. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So as I was saying, the same thing is applied. So if you join our call on Friday, you know that on Friday BTC was somewhere around here because the news pushed it up somewhere around here. And over the weekend, the reason why they even call it over the weekend because most of the people in on the channel are trading props. Most of them are trading props. Most of them. So I don't think anybody can trade this setup. But then you can see how perfection. If you want to be on the safe side, if you want to be on the safer side, you still get a decent 1:3. Putting your stop loss somewhere here and to this point, a decent 1:3 because it still go down 1:3. But then if you're using this breaker, because for the fact that this guy, let me use line diagram so you can understand what I'm saying. As you can see, this guy has touched here, broke with a body, and then came back here to touch, and then broke with another body. So price has no business. Price has no business inside here. If you remember on Friday, I said something about when price gets to your POI and it is mitigated, it is expected that price has no business in that mitigated POI. Price has no business in that mitigated POI. Welcome, MJ. Price has no business in that mitigated POI. So always know that once it is mitigated, that one don't go. But as per liquidity, in the real sense of it, if it's clearing liquidity, it will clear out everything. This concept I just told you about is only works when you want to take a buy or a sell. That means your point of interest, your point of entry, your optimal trade entry, your area of interest, whatever you call it, that is what it means. So for the fact this guy have already been cleared, so the only ideal place for you to put your SLs is here. Here. That's the only ideal place. And your ideal place for your TP is here. The first place here. Because here. But then, in the real sense of it, what I say is this. Your SL, your TP should be placed at a very realistic position. A very realistic position. What is realistic? Realistic means that at worst case scenario, this thing should at least give me this. This thing should at least do this for me. This setup should at least give me this number of RR. But if your what is it called? Your target is unrealistic. Unrealistic means that you are using 1 hour to be looking for 30 something hour. Like someone was saying that for the fact that this thing have broken, BTC have broken down here, that it will go all the way down to this place. Imagine holding your trade for 17 hours, or fuck it, it's going to go this down. Like this thing is very sure it will go down. How many of you can hold a trade this long for 38 hours? Meaning that this guy, you most likely be on this trade for a whole month, 2 months, 3 months. Can you do that? No, of course you can't. Because before the trade went from here and broke all this up and then tapped and then continue going here, this is daily time frame. If you count it, you're going to see a tap. It's not 2,000, but then you stay here for almost more than a month. What if after that month you're waiting, price got to this place, and then news happened, pushed it out again, and then continue going down? So it is crazy. Always make your targets realistic. Realistic. Worst case scenario. Like I always say, don't use anger. Don't use greed and enter trading. Everything you're doing in trading should be realistic. Your target should be realistic. Your SLs realistic. Your targets for your TPs realistic. That way, you will not be emotional about anything anymore. Why do I say that? This is roughly 1:5. And then counselor said, once your trade is 1:3, you should do what? Take profit or break even and take partials. For example, if this hits 3 hour, this is 3 hour. Do you see that you got a trade around here, and in less than 3 hours, in less than 1, 2, 3, in 4 hours, you've hit TP. It's a weekend, of course. This thing triggered over the weekends. So you wouldn't Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is still at entry. Once market opened, you dump to TP. Market opens around night or so. So you'll be sleeping. So you dump to TP. The only luck you have is you dump to TP and then it's still going down. Gold will hit your TP at 3 hours and then wake up again, it will be at entry. So if your target is unrealistic, you lose out to profit. But imagine waking up to take profit, hit already. Not be say it's still floating. It has already been hit. What's more happier than that? So always be realistic with your target. So that was for gold for BTC last weekend. But this morning we are looking out for the moves that were expected to be made this week. The moves that we expected or we are expecting for this week. Last week I said this thing about GJ, that for the fact that GJ has already broken this down from this levels, I am expecting a sell this week. I'm expecting a sell this week, targeting this low. This is my range low for the week. So now, for the entry, where am I entering from? Where am I selling from? In as much as this is a strong supply, and from the 1 hour time frame from this end, it was bullish. But then, as you already know, whenever price is buying, why is it buying? It is buying to take out all the sales that's happened previously. And when the price starts selling, it is selling to take out all the buys that has previously done what? Happened. So if this sell will continue, obviously it will take out all this buy side liquidity. This is something that I've already said countless times if you're a regular student of this channel. So now, what are we looking out for? Same old. we've already broken this side with a body, and our point now is entry. Recall, my entry models are different, but what I'll do for you is to tell you the names, so now you can go and backtest on them. Like I said, this is not a mentorship. The formal entry model that I'll use a chart diagram. This has been trending since 2022 ending. Since 2022 end. This is how it is. You get a sweep, trying to buy, get a sweep, a break of structure, liquidity, another break of structure, and then price hits, and then boom. This is what DAGs, Chooks, a lot of people trade. So this is the first ideal one. This is the one that every decisions I make in trading is stems from. Yes, it will not always look like this right now because I have refined my entry to look more than this. This is more like basic already. So this is it. The second one is now, from the second to wherever I am right now, is now stemmed on what? On continuation of this pattern. The mitigation entry, the reclaim block, and then the key levels. That's all stemmed on this, which means you will know where you enter boss from to remember where you lost from. You can't just say I'm lost. Where did you come from to just get lost? So always know where your price is coming from, where it's headed, and then that will inform your decisions. For this entry is key levels. Key levels in the sense that this is a mentorship, I beg. So what am I looking out for now? The simple things is structure, liquidity, and entry. Structure, liquidity, and entry. Once I've seen my structure, it is bearish. What again am I looking out for? My structure is bearish. What again am I looking out for? Where is the liquidity lying? Where is the liquidity lying? If you don't identify liquidity, you do what? You obviously become the liquidity. So this guy have taken me out here, and then the first valid pullback is this, and then this one has already dumped from this POI. As you can see, it took out the POI and it still dumped. So, like I said, if at any point in time your trade gets in the way of your POI, that POI has been faulted. So as a result, this sell is already in progress. So we are not going to start doing buy from breaker, buy from this or whatever. I'm not going to be doing that. You know why? Because we did not join the sell from the initials. If, for example, we join the sales from initials, I can boldly say you can do what? You can sell from here. You can sell from here. Owing to the fact that if we are up on this one, we should already be up with at least 1 hour is already off. Our target is 3 hour, or just targeting this low. 1 hour is already up on this one. So if already 1 hour is already off, and the SL for this second one is somewhere here. So now, once you already enter the second trade, your TP is somewhere around here too. You can now use this first trade and break even, and that risk you're taking on the second trade, you've already transferred the risk to this one, which means you are in these two trades with a risk of what? Of 1. You are on the two trades with a risk of 1. That is how to scale into trades rightly. That is how to scale into trades rightly. You can't just enter this trade without securing this one, because of course, if this one fails, it's obvious that it will come back to this guy and probably take it out. But for this kind of entry models, it doesn't mean that if one fails, others will fail. No. But if you're using mitigation entries and others that are continuation entry models, if one fails, it is obvious and certain that others might fail too. So what is your job? Your job is to, once your trade, you've already figured out your pattern, you've already figured out your direction, your job is just to keep scaling in. If you scale into the first one, second setup, what are you going to do? You're going to break even the first one and then transfer the risk to the second setup. As price is going down again, probably price came to this place, it breaks this place like this or somewhere here and comes back here again. You can take another sell from here, another sell from here, and do what? And transfer the risk of this one here to this point now. And then same TP, but now lower what? Take profit. Because like I said, if it didn't give you 1:3, don't do it. It's a waste of capital. It's a waste of money. Why am I saying it? You're not trading $100K yet. You're not trading, even if you're trading prop firm, your risk is still what? 1%. But someone that has $20,000, $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 life account, not prop firm, the person can do 1:2 and make money because the person is risking $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and that's a big money. So 1:2 makes sense to the person, but then preaching to you to start doing 1:10 or 1:2 with $100, you go take before you flip that account. Though. So what am I expecting from this guy? I cannot enter the sell from here. This is for trading purposes. Did I say that? Because I did not catch it. Did you know I'm not going to take this trade? Is because one, I didn't catch this first one from this point. So taking re-entries for me are low probable. They are low probability setup. So I can't take the sells directly from here. If the price comes back to this entry, I can look for a sell. But for me to just jump in here because it's Monday, no, I can't do that. And I don't expect you should do that. I don't expect you to do that. I said it to before someone will say that I gave signals. This is not a signal. Unless you are already on the sell, then you can take this. Which means the risk you're risking here, transfer it to here and then continue. But if this price breaks this guy and comes back, I don't mind risking it on this. I wouldn't mind. But that will be for you to know, for those in the entries group. So let's move to the next pair, which is BTC, which has already been played out. So last week, Friday, I said BTC will come to this guy and then dump to this demand. But then it's already happened. So what are we looking at for BTC this week? If it breaks below this zone, which is looking like it, if it closes below these zones with a body, I will keep selling. I will keep selling. It is not rocket science. Let me show you why. It's not rocket science. If you look at this pair now, it's going to dump a little bit hard. From daily time frame, it will dump like crazy. It will dump to this place. That is to activate these breakers. To activate these breakers. It will dump to this place to activate these breakers. But if it dumps below, then it's coming for this OB. So for now, BTC is super bearish. So when it enters this zone, I'll not mark out a rating. I'm not a swing trader. I'm not a swing trader. So if it enters this zone, the zone I want it to enter is, remember, we got this guy here and price price fucked us up. It didn't enter. So this is the only zone I can take from. Away. So if price comes here, I can take. I can't take from here because it's already here. It's already here. I can't take from here. I can't. Unless the only reason I'll take from here is if only this happens. Remember the pattern I already showed you. Remember the pattern I already showed you. If this price happen here, remember this is this is this is something I'm expecting. Price from here, break this high, one, comes back, do something like this, and then come back here. Let me explain with the line chart. You're seeing how the thing is from this to this, here, here, here. So for me to take a sell, or sorry, a buy, confirming that it's bullish from smaller time frames, it must break this guy here with a body, that's this guy, and then take this one out. I don't need for it to take this one out, because before, if price takes this one out here, yeah, you don't buy finish now. So it's for me to just take small risk. Once take this one out and close with a body and comes back down and break structure. I did not say once it breaks this one and come down, I'll buy. It can break down here and still boom. But if it breaks, comes down and break again, I can now start looking for my buys from here. But if this thing did not happen, I'll wait for it to come to here and still give me that change of direction. It is called change of character or market structure shift. Anything that makes you sleep well at night. So always learn to sit on your hands when the things you're looking out for did not happen. The only reason why I'll just take my buy from here immediately is if my patterns has shown itself. I'm buying from here. Where's my liquidity that I took off that I want to buy from? None. It's a valid demand zone, yes. But the liquidity that will power this thing from here to here, no day. So why force it? Like I said, liquidity is the fuel that moves the market. It is a money. So if day, day. Don't force it. So that is for BTC. And then for GBP USD, last week was crazy, induced by the news. It was crazy. And I clearly said it. It's crazy. But one thing you should know is this guy is still bearish. You know why I said that? Because all the news that happened, he didn't take out this high. And this high is from a strong supply. It's from a strong supply. This buy is from an FVG. This is 4-hour time frame. See the buy. This is how to mark FVG. 1 and then 2. See the buy inside this FVG. Are you seeing it? So clearly, price will have to come back to cover these niggers from this point. It have already covered itself because this is the last one, and then this one. But this void that is left here is another name of what? Liquidity. If you understand the day I talked about liquidity, I talked about types of liquidity and everything. So the void is also part of liquidity. So now, what is your business? How do you attack? That is the main question. How do you attack? As you can see, price has taken out this guy with body and then went down, and now it's coming back again from this down. I'm not going to sell immediately. No. Like I say, I'm a picky trader, but I don't pick when my patterns has been shown. What is the worst thing that can happen? This is what I say tell my students. What is the worst that can happen? 1 hour minus 1 hour. That's the worst that can happen. So always put the worst in your head first. So what do you want to do? You want to wait for this guy to be taken out. Once it happens, you can sell. Once it happens, you can sell. But if I say you can sell from this place right now, price can want to dance around here because there is no liquidity that you're seeing that will push this price down. So allow it to do its thing till this guy is taken out. Is taken out. So always know that. Always know that. And on the flip side, you can see that price has taken out this one and now it's coming back. You can use this guy as a demand. This guy, liquidity. Only if this guy now that's formed the liquidity comes like this, breaks this high, and then come back, then you can buy. Your target is here. Target is here. What am I doing? Your target is here. Why? From here to here to here has given you 1:3. So it is still inside the main circles. So if this guy didn't take out this low and breaks this structure, just this one with a body and comes back, you can buy. But if he breaks this down here, he's going to this place, is a sell. Just always be realistic. 3 hours is fine. I didn't say look for extreme TPs. No, keep it simple. Keep it simple. All these views will be shared on the general Telegram that I created for this YouTube channel. I'll just do everything and the link will be added later. So this is the view for this. But then for the main guy, this is the main meal. So last week I said, if this guy, on Friday I said, if this guy breaks this up and closes it with a body, my buy has successfully activated. But as you can see, it closed with what? With wicks, not bodies. Why is that? Because the news couldn't push it and stay there. But it doesn't mean that my bias has changed. I'm still bullish because price is coming back to gather what? To gather more liquidity to keep breaking. So you can't just enter because it's trying to gather liquidity or stuff. What will you do? You just have to wait and see what price is doing. But if you say that this is Monday, I want to trade, I don't trade on Mondays. But if you want to force your hands, there's a small tiny setup that has already been printed here. As you can see, this guy came from this point, break this one, and is going up continuously. So what do? As you know, this is your liquidity areas already, and this is your POI that is unmitigated. That is a word I like using, unmitigated. Unmitigated. So what are you doing? Price comes back here, you take a scalp buy. A scalp buy. This is my setup for today. A scalp buy, and your TP is where? On this line, not this place. It's 3.5. What is it called? 3.5 to reward. Let me make this thing visible so you can see it. This is the price levels. So you can take a screenshot. This is my food for today. You can take a screenshot, and this is my view on gold from the 15-minute time frame. I will even send this into my group chat to my people. It's a good setup. It's a Monday. It's a dicey situation, but then it meets my requirements. So what is the highest that will happen? What is the highest that will happen? So you can take the screenshot, and that's it. We have 10 minutes left. What I'll do is, if you have a setup that you want me to, a chart, a pair that you want me to look around, you can drop it on the chat. If you have a pair you want me to look around, drop it on the chat. we have only 10 minutes for that. So do it right now. And then for Timmy that dropped this USD, that was for last week. I'm not doing it again this week. So I'm removing it from my this thing. I'm removing it from my this thing. But then for this guy, it is pretty decent. If price comes back, it's dicey. Here, if price comes back here, you can buy here. But if you're buying from here, you should cover this SL abeg and not get strength here, and then TP here. TP should have been half of this place, but be realistic. 1:3 first, then you can put the rest 1:5 somewhere here. But 1:3 first. This is it. This is it. So that's it. So nobody has any pair for me to look. Just this one and the other one. This is it. You can take a screenshot and then set your limit. So it is nice doing this in every morning. I'm not a morning person. The reason why we came to this class around 8:15, I was still sleeping. I'm not a morning person, but this activity I'm doing now on YouTube is making me look like a 95er, but it's still sweet. It's fun for me. Though sometimes I will not feel like it, but with time, I will start doing it like I really love to do it. So thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope you found value. If you got value, if you got setup that you like, if you've seen the way I trade, the entries I use, the reason why I take my trades, kindly give me value on the chat, and then make sure that you like and share the video so that someone that is not in the class can benefit from it as well. Thank you very much for joining me today, and have a profitable week ahead. It's nice doing this with you every day, and I pray that anything you're looking for, positive things, of course, will keep happening in your life as time goes on. Have a good day and enjoy the rest of the week.